Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guess if we have any, but we don't. But if you're here, you're still welcome. If the good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, this Friday, I will celebrate my 67th birthday. I am full retirement age. I am retired. I am collecting Social Security. I'm on Medicare. And I am old enough to be a grandfather. And in some states, even a great-grandfather. In this modern day age of self-proclaimed entitlements, I proclaim, because of my age, I am entitled to speak my opinion at any time to anybody on any subject I so deem. And today's the day. I'm going to talk to you about 3 pearls of wisdom that I've learned over the years. Now, you may agree or disagree, but that doesn't matter. What does matter is that you learn the problem and solution, stimulus and response, action, reaction of how I approach a problem. And if it fits your life perfectly, that's fine. If it doesn't, that's fine too. Modify it slightly so it fits your life. Because, and remember this, great ideas and great inventions are typically slight tweaks to good ideas and good inventions. For example, hamburger, cheeseburger. Hamburger, cheeseburger. A hamburger is good, but a cheeseburger is great. By adding that single slice of cheese, you make a hamburger great. So take these ideas and improve upon them. So number 1, life is like a tractor pull. That's right, life is like a tractor pull. For those of you who have never enjoyed the excitement of a tractor pull, please, let me explain. A tractor pull is a contest, usually at a state fair, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, in which a tractor pulls a sled wedge, and as the tractor moves forward, this sled wedge digs into the ground further and further, and eventually provides so much resistance that the tractor stops. And these tractors are huge. They're huge. They're huge. Sometimes with 2 or 3 engines, sometimes 1,000 horsepower or more. Eventually, they stop. Now, life is like a tractor pull to me because when I first became an adult in my 20s, life was rather simple. I could solve my problems. Flat tire, leaky roof, dishwasher broke, got laid off, got a new job. I could solve those problems. And oh, by the way, if you buy a car with a donut space saver spare, go out and buy a full-size spare because you don't have to worry about, oh my goodness, I'm driving only 45 miles an hour on a donut. Go get a full-size spare, and then you have 2 spare tires. And then you can get the tire fixed at your own convenience. In my 40s and 50s, my parents, between my 2 parents, they had cancer, heart disease, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. My uncle had a stroke. I survived, but they didn't. In my 60s, members of my immediate family had serious health issues with similar results. So life is like a tractor pull because as you go through life, the problems get harder and harder, and you have to solve every problem except the last one. When you do not solve the last problem, you die. So similar to today is the first day of the rest of your life, today is the last day of your life so far. Pearl of wisdom number 2, and I heard this 40 years ago. Start a restaurant. Now, you learn customer service firsthand by starting a restaurant. Zig Ziglar said, you can get what you want out of life if you help enough other people get what they want. Well, if they want cheeseburgers and you have cheeseburgers, then you're in business already. A TED Talk, Adam Grant said that certain people think this way. There's 2 ways to fail. One way is to try and fail, and the other way is much worse, never to try at all. And that is a much more serious way of failing, is never to try at all. So in your bucket list, life goals, big, hairy, audacious goal, BHAG, it's a new phrase I've heard recently. It's scary. Absolutely, it's scary. But feel the fear and do it anyway. And my last pearl of wisdom is dig a French drain. That's right, dig a French drain. Now, a French drain is a long pipe with holes on the bottom that you put about a foot and a half underground so the water can drain off your property. Now, we have gutters and downspouts, of course, but the downspouts dump all the water in one place, and it gets very soggy when it rains in that one place, and trees don't grow where the ground is soggy. So I dug a 40-foot trench in the front yard, 90-foot trench in the backyard, 5 tons of rocks, but you need to put rocks in there so the water can percolate down. And this happened in 2017, in July and August of all time, because that's when I wanted to do it. Just in time for Hurricane Irma. So thank goodness I got it done in time. Now, I don't know if I'm confessing or bragging, but as a computer programmer, I never really worked hard. Computer programming came easy, and it was one of those jobs that I loved, and I loved doing it, so I never really worked hard. However, this French drain was the first time in my life that I did back-breaking manual labor. And it felt great. It felt great. And there's something to be said about getting filthy, dirty, scummy, ugly, sweaty. And what that is sweat stinks, but your own sweat feels great. So in conclusion, today is the last day of your life so far. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Sweat stinks, but your own sweat feels great. Madam Toastmaster.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Good evening, Rico. Where are you, Rico? There you are. Okay. While evaluating you today, I didn't notice any unnecessary ahs or distracting filler words. I know that was one main concern, so I want to just remove that from this evaluation right now. Now, the main task of your speech was to deliver a well-organized speech that you're going to receive feedback on, and then you're going to incorporate that feedback, and you can give the same speech or do something different. That's the part that you're working on. So this is my opinion, and this is my feedback. I thought you have solid humor in your speech. There were some parts of it that was dark, and some people were like, do I laugh at this or do I not? I'm not sure, but I got it. During your intro, you started really well with a proclamation, but it lacked that proclamation vocal variety. I think that will make that part great if you can, add some force to it. Today, I proclaim on this day to speak about whatever I want, and you make it like you emphasize it, right? Then you transition into the body of your speech, which was basically 3 main perils of wisdom, which I recommend you mention in your introduction as well, because that way we are prepared. I was expecting like a long list because I didn't know how many you were gonna mention, or if you were gonna throw like little ones and say a lot, and they were mainly 3. And then you decomposed them, right? You talked about each of them and gave examples and explained them, and then you summarized them with a tagline, which I thought was brilliant. Because that brings me to the other part of your speech that I enjoy, was that part where you actually used vocal variety when you were talking about the trench drain, right? And you said like being filthy, sweaty, stinky. You said it really good, really fast, and it sounded like rhythmic, like you were singing a song. And I thought that was really, really good. And then when you went to your conclusion, to me it felt like it was a little rushed. I think for your conclusion to be stronger, you should tie it to your intro. Maybe do a quick mention of your proclamation, or remind us that it's the day where you speak about whatever you want, and then give us the 3 taglines for your 3 perils. You only gave us 2. I think you forgot one. And then you round it with do with this whatever you want, or whatever it is that you finished it, which I thought was really clever. That is my evaluation for you. I hope it's helpful. Thank you. Back to you, general evaluation.